Hi there, friends. Good Monday morning to you. Thanks for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. Yeah, we're starting off a brand new week, and it sounds like things are kind of going to cool down just a little bit. We had a nice weekend, and Thomas, the fair wrapped up really on a nice note because it wasn't too hot. It kind of was a little bit cloudy, which was nice.
Yeah, it was great to have that for yesterday on Sunday. Definitely Saturday, that was the hottest day. It got up to 88 degrees, but that might be summer's last hurrah here as we are seeing a cold front already push through the area this morning. That's going to cool us down for the rest of the week, but first and foremost could make us a little bit windy for today. We'll also keep an eye on Doppler radar for any light sprinkles or showers. Looks like the Lewiston area might be picking up some sprinkles. It shouldn't be anything worse than that. Generally, this should be a dry cold front passage, and the dry and windy weather combination has prompted red flag warning. So we are under that alert from noon to 8 o'clock today due to the winds, due to the heightened fire danger. So just keep that in mind as the heat wave comes to an end, but we will have some cooler days ahead.
An important traffic alert for you this morning. All northbound lanes on the Maple Street Bridge will close today. They won't open back up until October 6th. Meanwhile, nightly closings continue for the southbound lanes. They are happening daily from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Right now, the city estimates the project will be done by mid-November. Meanwhile, the TJ Meanock Drive partially reopened on Saturday after months of construction. You can see one lane is open in each direction while construction finishes up. Drivers should still expect some traffic in the area.
Over the weekend, we learned what options Washington State University is considering after the Pac-12 conference fell apart.
Yeah, we heard from WSU's president about the plan moving forward. Our Nicole Hernandez reporting live from WSU Spokane. And Nicole, this is something that you've been following for quite a while now. So what are the school's two options?
So Tim, Channing, the school really has a couple of options here that they can go with. One, they either join the Mountain West Conference, or they join the American Athletic Conference, or they try to rebuild the Pac-12, but of course that'll be hard because there's only a couple teams left there in the Pac-12. Just 2 weeks ago, both Cal and Stanford made the decision to leave the Pac-12, so now the conference is down to those two teams, WSU one of them, Oregon State University the other there. WSU President Kirk Schulz talked to the Board of Regents late last week for the first time since all of this started. He says no matter what happens next year, WSU will be playing football.
I appreciate our student athletes. They want to excel in the classroom. They want to excel in the field. They want to win championships. That's still going to be there.
So since WSU and Oregon State University are the only teams still committed to the Pac-12 at this point, they want to make sure they have the power to make decisions about the conference. Last week, a Whitman County judge ruled the schools who have left the Pac-12 cannot meet to talk about the conference's future anymore. And no matter what happens from here on out, a couple people are concerned about the Pac-12 or the WSU not being in a conference like the Pac-12 with big top-tier football schools and that level of competition. So WSU says that either way, the university will be working to make sure they keep those traditions and that atmosphere alive at the school. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Weird turn of events is with 9 minutes left, the game is called due to unsportsmanlike conduct on the field.
Last Thursday, a high school football game between Pullman and North Central abruptly ended with just minutes left on the clock. The game was suspended after North Central players told referees that Pullman players were using racial slurs against them. Both Spokane Public Schools and Pullman High School's athletic departments have opened investigations. Now, the Washington Interscholastic Athletic Association and Washington Officials Association say they are not investigating the incident. They say no official, coach, nor administrator heard any inappropriate comments from any player on either team, calling it a clean football game. They also reported both teams and coaches showed good sportsmanship. The Greater Spokane League, though, which oversees school athletics, states that they are supporting both schools as each investigates what happened.
It is 6:05. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. This morning, a local man missing since the beginning of August has been found safe. Deputies say 63-year-old Mike Avery is back home this morning. He went missing last month. Police have not released any details on where Avery was while he was missing. We'll let you know when we find out. Covering North Idaho, a Coeur d'Alene man drowned in Lake Coeur d'Alene on Saturday. This happened at Black Rock Marina in Rockford Bay. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is now investigating. Also in North Idaho, a woman was killed and a man was seriously hurt after a motorcycle crash in Lewiston. Police say the driver of the motorcycle, 25-year-old James Weiss, lost control and hit a parked car. Weiss and the passenger, 24-year-old Alyssa Slusher, were both thrown from the motorcycle. They were taken to a hospital where Slusher died. Well, take a look at this here. A giant white sturgeon was found dead along the Lake Washington shore near Kenmore. The fish measured more than 8 feet and weighed between 300 and 400 pounds. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife says it hasn't been able to determine how the fish died, but estimate it was at least 60 years old. That is a look at your morning rush.
Cold thanks to the cloud cover that is pushing overhead at the moment, but this might be the last of that summer season and summer warmth that will linger because a cold front today is going to start to knock down those high temperatures later today and certainly for the rest of the week. Still at 58 degrees in Spokane, a lot of 50s across the inland northwest, not so much in the 40s, only a couple spots that cool like in Colville and Sandpoint, but it's 60 in Coeur d'Alene and 60 in Pullman. That's actually up a degree or two in the past hour here. So what's happening is a cold front is just starting to pass through central and western Washington, and when that slides through, the winds will kick up first and foremost, and then our temperatures will start to cool down from there.
Today is the United States Air Force's 76th birthday. The Air Force was founded on this day back in 1947 when President Truman signed the National Security Act, making the Air Force its own separate branch of the military. Before then, it was a part of the Army and called the Army Air Force. American military aviation dates all the way back to the Civil War when the military used hot air balloons in battle. So today is a time to celebrate and honor the airmen and women who are on watch every single day.